Don't be shy. Come on, say something to me. Hello? Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Soul Survivor. Today we are in Palmer, Massachusetts, a historical New England community comprised of the four distinct villages of Depot Village, Bondsville, Thorndike, and Three Rivers. The story of Palmer, Massachusetts would begin in 1716, when John King and his family would become the area's first settlers, establishing themselves near the Quabog River. Coined the Elbow Tract due to its winding rivers and rolling hills, Palmer would be fully incorporated as a town in 1775, and would soon switch focus from a farming community to industrialization, using the waters of the Quabog and Ware rivers to power the town's first major grist mills and later its textile factories. The rapid growth of the town and textile mills would see the introduction of a series of railroads, connecting Palmer to Boston, New York, Vermont, Maine, central Massachusetts, and two lines which were never completed, earning Palmer the nickname of the Town of Seven Railroads. A notable historical event that Palmer would participate in would be that of General Henry Knox's noble train of artillery, otherwise known as Knox's Trail. In the winter of 1775, the Revolutionary War was nearing the end of its first year of conflict, with the U.S. Continental Army achieving one of its first major wins against British forces with the taking of Fort Ticonderoga. Colonel Henry Knox, then only 25 years old, would be tasked by General George Washington with transporting 60 tons of heavy artillery acquired from the seized fort, almost 300 miles to Massachusetts state capital of Boston, which at the time was under British occupation. Knox would use massive sleds pulled by oxen to drag the weapons over frozen lakes, swamps, and the snow-covered trails of the Berkshire Mountains towards the city, stopping at several towns along the way, one of those stops being in the town of Palmer. Sometimes referred to as the Old Center Cemetery, Palmer's Center Cemetery saw first use in the spring of 1735. Shortly after construction was complete on the town's original meeting house. With a combined total of 822 graves and memorials, many of Palmer's earliest settlers and founding members can be found here, as well as soldiers from the Revolutionary and French and Indian Wars. The cemetery itself has been remarkably well preserved over the years, with many of the epitaphs and designs on the nearly 3-century-old graves still well defined and legible. 300 years of history lay silent below this soil. But I'm not here for just the history. I'm here because the Old Center Cemetery is reportedly haunted. Reports of hauntings within the Old Center Cemetery vary, with some claiming to hear whispering and see the glowing apparitions of those long departed, as well as sightings of orbs throughout the property. Interestingly enough, I managed to catch a strange light anomaly on an earlier scouting trip, nearly imperceptible to the eye. The most well-known spirit said to haunt the ground is that of the Lantern Man, a mysterious entity said to be spotted roaming the grounds with a glowing lantern. So kind of like in New Boston, we have a hill overlooking the whole cemetery. It'll be good for Overwatch, so I'm going to set up here. Once again, there won't be any need for a tent during this overnight stay. Much like in the last location, I've been given full permission to be here after dark, allowing me the freedom to investigate the area properly. Which brings me to my next point. Alright, before we get started on the investigation, let me make one thing clear. Although this is a supposedly haunted location, it is still a piece of historic property. The town of Palmer has given me official permission to film here after hours. There are no trespassing signs here after dark for a reason. If you want to perform your own investigation here, I advise you go through the proper channels. All right, let's get started. For the sake of time, I'll only show the main highlights from my walk with the EMFs, with several moderate spikes appearing and then quickly disappearing. The strongest readout I achieved would coincidentally be in the same cluster of graves that I had recorded the strange light anomaly in. Unfortunately, I didn't have the same luck as last time with the higher end model. With my initial walkthrough complete, it's now time to wait for the sun to set and night to begin. With this week's new piece of equipment, I'm trying to think outside of the box. The Xiaobai and Welcome device, a simple audio motion sensor that I'm sure will be easy to set up. Oh. Luckily, the instructions inside are in English, and this new device is exactly what I was hoping for. With the ability to record custom long-form messages, my hope is to cut down on response time when a paranormal entity makes its presence known, already speaking to them the moment the sensor is triggered. Hello there. Please don't be alone. My name is James. Can you please tell me your name? Hello there. Please don't be alarmed. My name is James. Can you please tell me your name? Give me a sign of your presence. To kill some time before the investigation, I visit one of Palmer's most popular and interesting restaurants, Steaming Tenders. Built from Palmer's original railroad station, the restaurant offers a unique look at the town's history with trains, as well as a damn fine burger. Okay, as usual, let's go set up the motion sensor lights across the cemetery and do a walk around with the EMF meter. I'm gonna wait until after the grave walk to set up the audio motion sensor. I'd rather not unnecessarily scare the hell out of myself as I'm walking around. This is where I saw the strange light anomaly from earlier. I'm going to leave one of these motion sensors right there. All right. I'm going to put one by the tree in the middle of the graveyard. I'll place the last one right here at this monument by the far side. I just got finished setting up the camera. The one over by the monument's on now. Oh, there goes that one. If there's something over there, it's moving. With rumors of a lantern man supposedly roaming the premises, I decided it would be wise to try another trigger object, so I went and bought a cheap lantern. Let's see if we can draw something in with this. Greetings to anybody who is here in Palmer's Old Center Cemetery. My name is James. I'll be spending a few hours with you here tonight. The only way I'll be able to respond to you is if you say something into this device. I'll be back shortly, but I'm going to leave this device behind for you to speak to me through. All right, I'm going to leave this camera here. And let's just throw down the audio motion sensor. All right, I just walked back to the car. I'm going to sit here for a few minutes and let those cameras roll. When I get back, we'll do our midnight EVP session. In the 30 minutes I was away from the graves, the motion sensor light would trigger a total of 5 more times, all by the same one at the monument. Okay, once again, my name is James. If there's anybody here in the Old Center Cemetery with me, please say my name now. Can you say your own name back to me? Speak clearly through this device. Were you a soldier of the Revolutionary War? Did you fight in the French and Indian War? Did you help General Henry Knox move cannons he took from Fort Ticonderoga through the town of Palmer? Okay, thank you very much for your time and any replies that you may have given me. A quick scan with the thermal camera doesn't appear to pick up on anything out of the ordinary, with the recent cooler weather causing the stones to lose their ambient heat quicker. This makes things much more difficult when trying to pick out a supposed cold spirit among the cold graves. Okay, it's getting close to 3 a.m., everybody. Let's go give the spirit box a try, and then we'll start cleaning everything up. Okay, my name is James. Can you say my name, James, back to me through this device in my hand, please? Can you say your own name back to me? Can you say the name of the cemetery or the town that we're in? You have to say it clearly. Repeat yourself if you have to. What was that? Say it again. Is anybody here with me right now, make your presence known. Don't be shy. Come on, say something to me. Hello? Can you respond, please? Definitely. Radio stations? Alright, let's try reverse sweeping. Can you hear me? Is there anything you can say to me right now? This is your last chance to make contact with me. If you have anything to say it now. With another investigation coming to a close, I begin to collect my equipment from around the cemetery, noticing the eye shine of an animal observing from a bush close by. Although I would manage to aim one of my cameras towards the unknown creature, it quickly fled in the opposite direction. And with that, all that's left is to review all of the evidence and present my findings. Alright everyone, as usual, I have just finished reviewing all of my evidence 2 times, and I'm ready to present to you my findings.
Soon, my motion sensor brothers, we will rise up and overthrow the human overlords.
There wasn't too much caught this time, so we'll get through this quick. So nothing noteworthy recorded on audio this time, and we only got a few short spikes on the EMF meters. Though, as stated earlier, it was interesting to see the strongest readout coincide with the same place I saw the orb. We did get a lot of activity with the motion sensor lights throughout the night. Of course, it is October and it's windy, so there were a lot of dead leaves. Still, it was strange to see the one by the monument trigger consistently compared to the other 2. Alright, we got no action on the audio motion sensor throughout the night. I still like the idea of using this device for my investigations, and will be using it more frequently in the future. Okay, let's talk about the spirit box for a second. Although most of the sounds were hard to decipher, one in particular definitely sounded like the word hello. So I've had a few people ask why I haven't tested out the laser net in the past 2 locations. Well, you see, this laser pointer has a range of up to 1 mile, so out of common courtesy for anybody in the area as well as the local wildlife, I've been choosing not to use it. Okay, so let's get down to it. Do I think that Palmer's Old Center Cemetery is haunted? Although we didn't manage to record as much as we have in some of our previous locations, I would say the things we captured, along with anecdotal reports of the cemetery, definitely point to something possibly being there. And that's going to be it for this time, everyone. I'd like to give a big thanks and shout out to the Palmer Historical Culture Center for assisting me with gaining permission to do this investigation. I absolutely loved your town, and hopefully I can visit again some point in the future. And I'll see the rest of you on the next Soul Survivor. Until next time.